I'm Chui Li. I'm sharing to you all the way from KK Sabah. Wow, I'm really, really happy to see so many of you joining me this morning. I saw people from, from KL, of course, Singapore, even Australia. Wow, I'm so pleased to be having all of you joining me this morning. Hi, oh yes, from Perth. Hi. Yes, good morning. Good morning. Yes, so like what Walter said, I really like what he's mentioned that foundational health helps to build the resilience. I think that's really what I wish to enhance and also reinforce in all of you who's joining me this morning about this foundational health. Very grateful that system to give me this opportunity to be sharing my product knowledge and also my experience with you guys. And very so often, right, as a pharmacist, we are always being asked about whether this supplement is good and that supplement is good and things like that. Hi, Ivy. And really, it would. I hope that this session this morning is going to help you and your loved ones to be a wiser consumer, in your process of getting healthier and fitter. So, I'm sure all of you would have overhauled yourself. So even after you overhaul yourself, why is it so important you continue to strengthen this foundational health for better wellness? So without further ado, let's start, right? So like I said, very often I'm being asked, hey, what do you take? And so on. So this is like my wellness journey. This is like the 10 years challenge photo. So I think this one is the furthest I could find myself with the scanner, which I'm when I first introduced to Pharmanex, I was in Sandakan, so we don't have the luxury of having the S3 scanner with us at that time. So the nearest time I could get myself scanned I would have already started my supplements, my age log then, and then going to KL Expo. So really, you can see that my score started then. I was already blue zone. But what I want to show, right, what I want to really illustrate, right, when you're taking good quality products and, and of course, a lot of people say, yeah, you take the supplement all the time and you will lose the function, immunity, and you harm and your liver, your kidney and things. So what I want to show you guys and demonstrate that, 10 years, actually it's more than 10 years, 14 years down the line, I think I'm healthier and fitter than when I first started. And you can see my score is constantly at the platinum zone, right? So I think that is where we really want to be. We want to be as high as possible, having optimal health. But thinking back, I think that when I was a toddler, I already started some sort of supplement. So I'm just doing a little test here to see who's in with my era. Any one of you know that the Scott Emulsion kind of fish oil, the one that in a bottle white color. Some people think it's a bit fishy, but I'm not sure how many of you actually had them before. Actually love it. I actually love that fish oil, the white color thing. Some will say ew because it smells, but I think. But then the idea of supplementation has already been instilled in me that we do need some sort of help in order to stay healthier, and stronger. And like what Walter mentioned earlier as well, I think to me, why I believe that it's so important to lay this foundation properly. So I think through these few years, years in my journey with Pharmanex, first thing first, during COVID times, right? I think I'm so grateful that I have really laid a very good foundation. During the COVID time, yes, I did contracted COVID, but during the time I contracted COVID, I didn't even feel that I had COVID. But then obviously it shows positive. I still quarantine, and take the food high dose, of these nutritional foundations, and of course our age log. And my husband was very, very, very surprised to see that, hey, how come I can still Zoom? I can still Zoom my Zoom. I can still do other things. Well, we're in the room. And he didn't see me like sleeping, unlike him, which he doesn't consume as religiously as I do. And he just think that, wow. And then second day, he cannot tahan already. He asked me, hey, what have you been taking? Give me all the things you have been taking. So right, that really, really shows the power. And another incident is that I'm sure some of you who knows me knows that I got pregnant when I'm 44. I got pregnant last year, 44. Very blessed. It's a bundle of joy. And I believe that because I've laid my foundation very well, right? During my pregnancy, even though it's high risk pregnancy, doctors was very, very concerned and things like that. But despite the fact I didn't have any high blood pressure during pregnancy, I passed my sugar level with flying colors. Even the doctors was like, wow, okay, you're 44, right? Normally at this age, during pregnancy, it's very, very easy to have high sugar. But I tell you, this is what it's proven that when you have taking the good quality products for a period of time, it lays solid foundation that is very important to give us long-term wellness. I think Pharmanex product really deserve a big cyber claps, right? I think you guys can thanks Pharmanex product for me. Like, can we give Pharmanex a big cyber clap so I know that you guys are still with me as well? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, thank you so much. Because I see some and yeah, and then one side it's like, oh, thank you. Great, great. I saw it now. So what really define wellness? I think it's so important, right? That we actually ensure that wellness, of course, wellness, it actually encompasses not just physical, of course, mental and also spiritual. But today, I would like to share how we could actually improve our wellness in terms of physical well-being. So physical well-being is maintaining health quality of life, right? To allow us to do most of the daily activities without feeling fatigue and physical stress. So it is not just about someone says that, hey, okay, I'm not sick, then you think that is really good wellness, or you say, hey, I'm very slim, then you think that's optimal physical wellness. I think that's why it's so important that we make sure that every day we can do our activity very well, and importantly, that we don't feel tired all the time. We don't feel just don't no mood and things like that all the time. So what does nurturing your body means in terms of physical well-being? Of course, number one is about eating healthy diet. Well, that is again very subjective for some, right? Getting enough rest. Now again, very challenging because of handphone. Sometimes we just miss that, right? Do we get the 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day and regular exercise, stress management, uh, avoiding harmful substances? Wow, I think avoiding harmful substances are nowadays also quite challenging because why we are sitting around Wi-Fi all the times when we go out, there's pollutions, especially in traffic jams, the exhaust, isn't it? Yeah, so it's not easy. But what is actually in the nutrition that 101 that we should have. So I'm very, very curious that if you know that it actually encompasses your carbohydrates, which is your macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and also your micronutrients like your vitamins, minerals, and of course, water. So I think it is so important that you understand whether you're getting enough and actually are you eating enough. This is something that a lot of times we find it rather challenging. Yes. So let's see. Are we getting enough? Do you think you are getting enough? For those who thinks that you're not getting enough, you don't think you're getting enough, can you type a no, 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 no? Let me see. Do you think you're getting enough? No, 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 no. Yeah? Yeah, no, 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 no. So we are not, so you're absolutely right. Because 90%, right, of the population are actually not getting enough of the nutrients we need for our daily body function. Okay, and I know there are a lot from Australia, right? And I remember a lot of times people say, "Oh yeah, even my sister who lives in Australia. No, we live in Australia. We get a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, and fresh." produce, yes, very yummy, very good, but are you actually absorbing them enough, and so on? So I think, right, this session is going to enlighten you in such a way. So you can see that majority of people are not consuming enough nutrients. In 2020, JAMA, the Journal of American Medical Association, this brings back uni times because I actually used a lot of JAMA journals when I was doing my research. And it shows that, right, a lot of people are lack in antioxidant like and vitamin A, vitamin E, and C, which increases the health risk because they don't consume optimally. And in Malaysia, Malaysia Adult Nutrients Survey, actually done by the Ministry of Health more than 10 years ago, shows thousands of people who are lack of micronutrients such as iron, calcium, and vitamin A. And they are all below par of the recommended um, nutrients index. And I can tell you, during my recent conference attendance, right, I also, after my pregnancy, I get very interested in women's health and also breastfeeding and children's health. And I attended this conference that has brought out a topic that 3 out of 10 women globally in the reproductive age are actually anemic. Okay, so it does when you're anemic, right? You don't doesn't you a lot of people don't know they're anemic, especially female. Because and then only during the reproduct when you have pregnant and you have kids, then you realize, hey, how come my red blood cell not enough and things like that. So I think it's so important that we actually recognize your nutritional intake and whether your body actually absorbing it. And nowadays, because we are all so busy and so on. So are you eating right and also unavoidable are polluted environment and stress, which means you probably need even more nutrients. And then whether we are exercising enough and whether we are breaking down the nutrients enough to be absorbed, all these things, even erratic eating habits, which means irregular eating times, can actually affect our nutrients absorption as well. So I'm sure a lot of us will say that, yeah, I like natural. I don't want to eat a synthetic. I would love natural. How many of your friends and family actually say so? A lot, right? So, but before you say you want to go all natural, please actually have a little think that whether that piece of fruit or vegetables that you are now claiming that you are going to blend or so have the nutrients. So this study that was done actually in Japan, a very popular study, is that in 1950s, a bunch of spinach of 100 gram actually gives you 150 milligram of vitamin C. Fast forward in 1994, it actually only contained 13 milligram. All these are due to modern farming methods these days that depleted the soil nutrients and regular use of fertilizers, even acid rain and things like that depleted the nutrients from the crops. So now, where are we now? 2025. So how much vitamin C do you think I can get from that 100 gram of spinach? Not much, right? So if you might be eating a lot or different, you might be eating some fruits and vegetables, but do you know how good is the quality? And do you know how much vitamins that you're actually absorbing? So eating just having salad doesn't mean that this plate of salad will give you sufficient nutrients. Okay, beside the farming method, it is also depending of when you consume your food. A lot of us would have cooked our food and then leave it there, and then whoever comes back and you eat at whatever time. Do you know that the minute these vegetables leave the soil or water, because some are hydroponic, right? Leave its source, it will start losing nutrients. It will start losing nutrients. So studies in University of California shows that you can lose 15 to 55% of vitamin C in a week. Okay. And some spinach lose 90% of the nutrients within 24 hours. So what are you eating? Yes, you're eating only fiber, but not much nutrients. So a lot of us buy economy rice as well, right? You probably go to buy economy rice where they already cook there, and then you don't know what time you're buying. They probably cook it at 8 o'clock, and you're buying at 1 in the afternoon, and you're eating it probably 2 in the afternoon. So how long do you take to consume that, and how much nutrients do you think you're consuming? And then, really, what happens to your body when you don't have enough key nutrients? It's like your car, right? It doesn't function properly, as you can see in the mechanics in the picture. So I think, right, a lot of times we would service our car. Your car has this reminder to tell you, hey, it's time to overhaul, it's time to service, put the oil in it and things like that. But how about your body? Do you actually have this regular overhaul, regular servicing for your body? If no, maybe you should really, really think about it because it's very, very important, is it? Especially as we age. And why? So why do we need the supplements? Because number one, we are not getting enough nutrients from our food. Yes, you are eating to survive, but you're not getting enough. All of you believe so as well, right? The stress, the polluted environment, the irregular meals because we are running around, unhealthy lifestyle because we're not sleeping enough, because we are constantly, at a stress level, poor eating habits, eating more processed food, and aging increases our nutritional needs to prevent diseases as well. Now, let me share with you. Do you realize, right? Of course, as you age, it's very avoidable that a lot of elderly actually takes medicine as well. Do you know that certain medicines also impedes the absorption of nutrients? For example, a very, very common one that you probably are aware are, say, like metformin for diabetic. Metformin, right, actually affects the absorption of the intestinal absorption of vitamin B12. So that's why a lot of diabetic, they also need to be given some supplements for nerve to help protect their nerves. And they're very tired, but they're diabetic, they're tired anyway. And some gastro medication. Sometimes we feel that we always have people who have gastric are commonly on certain proton pump inhibitors, which is like gastric medication. It actually impedes a lot of nutrients such as magnesium, calcium, and iron. So all these can actually affects what we need. So how do you know? How do you know that whatever you're taking are actually working for you? Can I see a show of hands? How many people have actually got yourself scanned in this group? Yes, 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 yes. Those of you actually have gotten your scan. Yes. And I hope, right, you do this regularly. It's like you check your car, do this regularly, at least, every 6 to 8 weeks. When you have this access, please tell your loved ones. It is so important. You must see me every 6 to 12 weeks because you want to know whether whatever you're taking are actually absorbing or not. Because otherwise, it's just harming your liver, harming your kidney, doing excess work to process whatever you're taking. So I am very, very pleased, right? Pharmanex actually have this biophotonic scanner that actually ensure that whatever we are taking are actually being absorbed. So what does this scanner measure? It actually measures the carotenoids, the most stable type of antioxidant that actually exists on our skin. So carotenoids includes lycopene, lutein, beta carotene, astaxanthin, zeaxanthin, and all these antioxidants. So it is a very important marker that actually presents themselves on our skin. As you know, our skin is the biggest organ of our body. So it's like first defense mechanism. So all the soldiers are around our skin, right? Analogically. And imagine if you don't have enough soldiers blocking it first line, then what happened to when you're being attacked by viruses and bacteria? It easily invades you and take over your body, and that's how you get sick, right? So it's so important that when we do this scanning, we know where we are and where is our first line defense in for our health, for our loved ones. So that's why there is this score. If some of you are not familiar, you can screenshot this score. It gives you a representation of where you are. If you're in a red zone or orange zone, what does it mean? And so on and so forth. In the past, right? In the past, when I first started, I think there was only till blue zone. But now, because our supplements are so good, and can really uplift and increase our optimal health, it actually we have a zone which is platinum zone as well. So I really strongly urge everyone to at least make sure you are in the blue and above zone to ensure that you are actually at the optimal health all the time. So some of you who are yet to achieve that zone, the blue platinum zone, I really urge you to ensure that you improve your foundational health. Like what Walter said earlier, is really, really the foundation of us for recovery and resilience. I think that is so important to build the defense mechanism very healthily first. Okay. Now, there's three items that I would like to share, which is Life Pack, Marine Omega, Opti Omega, which is a fish oil, and also like Otter and myself, our favorite G3. Okay, so we must take this. It's so important. First thing first is Life Pack. I would really like to share with you, right, why Life Pack is so, 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 so important. Just imagine if we are planting a tree, when it grow big, a tree. So the foundation of it, Life Pack is like the soil. So do you not think it's important when it's the soil? And we don't want just any soil. It has to be good quality soil. It has to be, scientific proven soil. It has to be safe as well. If you put crappy soil to plant your tree, then what happens? It's easily infected. Plant also will get diseases. Plant also will get diseases. I I have many plants that has been infested. Sometimes I need to put some life pack in there. There are people who really use life pack to plant to put on their plants. Okay, and and it's really the foundation. And let me share with you, when I first time when I saw Life Pack, what's my impression? And when I look at the box, the amount of nutrients in there, I'm a kind of pharmacist that love holistic approach. So I like to explore. Even when I was in the UK, I started going every time I go out, I will go to different stores to check out the what supplements they have and what's the new things and things like that. So when I saw the list of ingredients and the formulation, maybe you guys don't see the formulation of how it is. I'm absolutely impressed, especially with how much it costs. Very economical, I must tell you, especially from a pharmaceutical point of view. First things first is super value for money. Number two, right? You see, it's individually packed. Now, probably some of you think that, yeah, why individual? I can tell you, not all company are willing to do that because it's extra cost, it's extra effort, because from a manufacturer point of view, right? It's easier to just fill the whole tablets through into the bottle instead of packing them into individually packing. But why? It's because number one, it contains lots of antioxidant and a lot of minerals that can easily oxidize because they don't have so much preservative, right? So they do it this way to ensure its freshness. But they never charge you any extra. So that's number one. And number two, do you realize it comes in a foil packing? So the foil packing, right, also can help to prevent more contaminants and oxidation. And because they can simply just put the dirty packets into a box, right? But they didn't. They didn't. They have an extra foil packing. And do you realize it comes certain places it comes in a capsule and or caplets form. It's hardly in a round tablets, right? It's more in the caplets. So sorry, I'm being a pharmacist, I used to make tablets as well at uni. So I'm very intrigued. So caplets is like bullet, because it helps to improve your swallowing, improve your absorption. But it actually costs more, instead of the round tablets. So you realize sometimes you buy certain medication, when it's round, it's cheaper. When it's oblong or a bullet form, actually costs more. So you see, the company went a great this extent, right, to ensure that what you get is what they claim. Don't you think that with just that, I think they deserve another big round of applause, right? Yes, I think that it is so important. Life Pack actually supplies us with a comprehensive array of vitamins and minerals to fill the nutrients gap in our daily diets. Yes, that's why when I see Life Pack, I say, wow, you want to go to the pharmacy to buy so many. And not just that, oh, it's so convenient in a little packet and it keeps the freshness. Because I think some of you don't realize that, or maybe you can go home and open it when you know you can go and open your bottle and you see that certain bottles there are these little desiccants in it that you put the manufacturer put in it and actually absorb the moisture and so on. But it doesn't help to improve much of the stability. And because in Life Pack it has so many nutrients, so much antioxidant that can easily oxidize and wasted effort, right? So they pack it individually. Now, Life Pack contains 7 formulas in one pack. Why do we say 7 formulas and we don't just say 7 different ingredients or whatsoever? Because, right, do you know vitamins actually are like friends? Okay. Some friends are good friends, right? Some friends are bad, not so good friends, okay? So some friends help you, okay, lift you up. And some friends maybe not so, they press you down, right? It's the same with vitamins and minerals. Certain vitamins, they help you to absorb and certain vitamins it reduce. So why it's so Life Pack is so clever? I always say Life Pack is very clever because you see, in order to address the nutrients that we need, it has this array of vitamins and minerals in there. And in order to support our cardiovascular health, our bone health, our immune system, and sugar level and antioxidant, it already find the best to ensure they work synergistically. Okay, for example, vitamin C needs to work together with zinc, with selenium, with phosphorus, and things like that in order to work very well. Okay, to improve the absorption. So when they kawan together, they actually do even better work. And in supporting our sugar level, you see even things like chromium and alpha lipoic acid. Alpha lipoic acid actually is a very good uh, nutrients ingredients to help with that, to help diabetic. And it's so important for them that chromium helps to stabilize the sugar level as well. So it's just by very simple formulation. Well, I'm sure the scientists put a lot of effort in that. It was simple, but actually comprehensive. And like I said, why I believe it's so value for money and everybody should actually be on this Life Pack is because it consists not just multivitamin, it consists of the minerals, of the micronutrients, and phytonutrients. Phytonutrients are plant nutrients. And because I know that a lot of people there are certain company that sells phytonutrients on its own, and it's already the cost of Life Pack. So I just, wow, okay. And some people say that, wow, need to eat so many meh? 4 caplets at one point of time. Yes, you do need it 4 caplets at a single time, twice a day, to give you that protection throughout the day and also the best optimal health. Okay. Maybe you can't remember what I said earlier, but I just make it easier for you. If you just remember it, why is Life Pack so different from others? Why is it so superior? And why is it so value for money, right? Because number one, it improve your antioxidant score. And this is actually company is so confident that they even include in the SCS guarantee program and the bioavailability as well, and also it's clinically proven. You can go ask when you next go if you're not eating Life Pack, you're using other brand, you can ask them, do you know, you can ask the pharmacist as well, do you know if this whatever brand of multivitamin have clinical studies? Actually, most of them will tell you, not really, because they don't need that. They don't need that. Life Pack actually went through clinical studies to show all its efficacy. Okay, as you can see, taking Life Pack once a day can give you what kind of antioxidant increment and twice a day. So it is very important to remind your loved ones that to make sure you take your Life Pack twice a day. Okay, after food. I love to share about this bioavailability because as a pharmacist, this is what we always look at. Even with medication, you have the branded medication and then the generics, which is the now the when they lose patent. So bioavailability is something we need to look at. Otherwise, it does not deliver what it says on the bottle. They can say that I give you 1,000 milligram, but the bioavailability is going to ensure how much is being absorbed in the end. So the formulation, like what I explained earlier, the formulation is what is going to determine that what is going to be absorbed. So in LifePack, why is it so clever? First thing first, right? It uses the best form of to allow you to absorb. For example, there's vitamin E in there. Maybe some of you don't realize there's actually fat-soluble vitamin in there as well. Vitamin E, when it's in a natural form compared to synthetic form, which is lower in cost, it actually absorbs better. Okay, it actually absorbs better. And the bioavailability is twice the synthetic one. So you see, that is already a benefit, okay, compared to others. Number two, I love to talk about that the minerals are in the chelated forms. What does it mean by chelated? Chelation means that in the scientific form, it has claws. It has claws. It claws each other together. Like just now I said, it claws your friends together. And so that the body doesn't recognize it as a foreign body, as a foreign substance. And what happened? It absorbs better. And this works very well for our iron, our zinc, our magnesium, our copper. So magnesium, a lot of people nowadays take magnesium to help to sleep, right? Okay. Now, please, next time you can check with them. Hey, what combination is your magnesium? Is it the oxide, magnesium oxide, or glycinate, or whatever? So, you know the chelated form, the non-chelated, which is the magnesium oxide, is the non-chelated form, is cheaper, but it's poorly absorbed. So, how much you need to take? But our glycinate form is in a chelated form, not just is absorbed better, it's actually better for your stomach as well. You don't have any problems with stomach uncomfortable and things like that, indigestion, irritation, and so on. So, and there's fewer interaction with food as well. Overall, it's well tolerated by sensitive people as well. So, number three, it's clinically proven by double-blind studies. Supplements do not need to go through double-blind studies because number one, it's very costly. Not many companies are willing to invest in it. So it is very, very, I think it's just that I'm very grateful this company actually went an extra miles and think that they want to do so. Because double-blind studies involve both party not knowing what they are taking. So there's no bias, there's no expectation. It doesn't affect their beliefs of the participants and the researchers in influencing the outcome. So that's why it's studies that are very well trusted. Okay, so but you can see that LifePack, these two studies are very well. It's online. So if you want to search on it, you can just search LifePack's clinical studies. After you can see that the conclusion from this is after taking life pack for just merely 6 weeks, the bad cholesterol, which is the LDL, is less likely to be oxidized, hence reducing inflammation and plaque build up in the arteries. You see why we don't want to be a lot of times things when it's the cholesterol, right? The bad cholesterol, when it's oxidized, it easily stuck it into our arteries. And if you have gaps and things like that in your arteries, which we all have, this is when it's going to form a plaque. And when the plaque ruptures or blockage, this is when you get heart attack. So you can see Life Pack also can help to reduce cholesterol. Isn't that fantastic? Really, that's why I say it's so super value for money. Next up, fish oil. Wow, this one, I think everyone we know also take fish oil, right? Can I see how many of you take fish oil? Even before New Skin, do you take fish oil? Can I see some? Yes, if you are taking fish oil. Yes, right. Because like I said, I think as far as I remember as a toddler, I already was given the Scott emulsion when I was very, very young after I eat. So that is fish oil, right? But I think now as I learn more, as I know more, then I know how to differentiate. A lot of people take fish oil, and many they will say, "Why do you want to take your brand? Your brand expensive." And think, I go to Australia. A lot of people like, sorry, those who are Australia this morning, I'm not picking on you, but I I have this bottle very cheap from the sea warehouse, 1,000 bottle, 1,000 capsules, only how much, how much? And then I asked them, okay, so do you know where's the fishes from? Then she said, is it from Australia? I said, well, it's manufactured in Australia. Does it mean the fishes or the ingredients come from Australia? Where's the excipient? Excipient means that the soft gel, right, has other things you need to put in to stabilize it. So where are the excipients from? They said so they just tell me it's from Australia. I said, well, manufactured from Australia doesn't mean that the ingredients are from Australia. You can find, do you know where are the ingredients from? In New Skin, in Pharmanex, we can tell you exactly where's the source of the ingredients. And that's the reason why I felt so safe to recommend to my friends and family. And when you buy 1,000 capsules in a big bottle, how do you know it's stable? When you reach maybe like half the bottle, actually, fish oil can get rancid, can get oxidized very easily. That's why it gets fishy smells. That's the reason why it gets fishy smell. So the quality and how the fish remains stable, right, is so important when you take it. But it seems like a lot of people are not aware of that, or you just follow the expiry date. It's not expired, so can take long. Then I'll just say, okay. Then the longer the expiry date, right, also means they put more preservative inside, isn't it? So I hope that these are the few things you could actually, help your loved ones to be more wiser consumer as well. Of course, we talk about fish oil, we want to talk about the Eskimo story. Why we see Eskimo live in the Antarctica, in the Arctic. Do you see many plants there? You know, right? Yeah, I remember visiting Alaska. Seriously, I don't think I see any green things. Okay, even I went in summer. I didn't see any green things. And but the researchers found that, hey, how come the Greenland Eskimos eat so much fat, high cholesterol diet, but it doesn't show that they have heart disease. But that's and then following the research, we've realized that because they take a lot of omega from their omega-3 from their fishes like salmon and deep sea fishing and such. So that's why. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, I take omega 3, 6, 9." At least this. But do you know that omega-3 and omega-6 carries different function? We need them to be balanced in order to control the inflammation in our body. And what does inflammation in the body can cause? It can cause in a condition like cancer, heart disease, eczema, skin condition, dermatitis, arthritis, allergies, and or even now emotional condition as well. So it is so important that these two, it needs to be balanced. The 3 is an anti-inflammation. The 6 is a pro-inflammation. Pro means encourage inflammation because our body do need inflammation to give response. So a lot of city dwellers, now a lot of us city dwellers live in a city, although you say maybe I live in a bit of kampong area, but I can tell you, we take way, 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 way too much omega-6 fatty acid because it is actually in our cooking oil. So your peanut oil, your sunflower oil, your corn oil, your vegetable oil. So every day we used to cook for cooking, right? And then you eat your fried food, your deep fried food and so on. And in our cookies, I love cookies, right? All of you. So all this processed food has all omega-6 in there. So that's why it causes a lot of inflammation. And over a long period of time, it causes the diseases I mentioned earlier. So how much do we need? On general average, we need, 4 portion of omega-6 to 1 portion of omega-3. But nowadays, how much are we consuming on general? We are consuming on modern diets, 15 portion of omega-6 to 1 portion of omega-3, or even some 20 if you like fatty food, if you like fried food. Isn't that very alarming? I was like, oh, I think some are all of you as alarmed as me. So the American Heart Association actually recommend us to decrease the usage, but I think very difficult to decrease nowadays, right? So it's so important to increase the omega-3 fatty acid in order to provide this anti-inflammatory in our body to reduce the chronic diseases. So what's the benefit of omega-3? It helps to in our cardiovascular health. i.e., your cardiovascular health, not just your heart, it means all your arteries around your whole body. So it helps to lower blood pressure, reduce triglycerides, reduce the bad cholesterol, which is LDL, improve the good cholesterol, which is HDL, brain health, decreases risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And in pregnancy, I took a lot of this when I was pregnant because it helps with the brain development of the fetus. So it's so important, especially in the third trimester. This is when the brain of the fetus are being developed and closed up. And this is where they need a lot of omega-3 for clever babies, okay? Your joints as well, because we want to reduce your inflammation, your skin health. It protects against the UV, photoaging, and skin damaging and cancer. And some people, I think one of my teammates tell me, she said, I wonder if because I took my family members took a lot of omega-3, I think they don't have the elderly, the pigmentation. So I think there is some truth in there. Yeah. Okay. So moving forward, and why our omega 3 it's so superior is because it has the uniqueness of having krill oil in there. Let me tell you, krill oil on its own is already as much as how much life pack costs. But in here, or just ordinary fish oil. But in here, our marine omega doesn't just contain fish oil, but krill oil. Isn't that additional bonus? Why is krill oil so important? Number one is because it has high antioxidant, especially the astaxanthin, which you get in the crayfish, the salmon, the orangey color of the fish. Yes, that's what it is. And it's very stable. It's resistant to oxidation. That's why it's not as fishy smell, not as smelly. It doesn't go rancid or easily. And you can see ours is like orangey color, right? It's not yellow color, right? Yeah, that is krill oil. And it works superbly well with LifePak and G3. You can see your SCS scores going up. The bioavailability, again, I love to share about bioavailability because it has phospholipids, which means that it is the way it's formulated with the molecular level. The omega-3 is a readily absorbed form in our body. Normally, something goes into our body, it needs to be metabolized, it needs to be changed in a form that you absorb. But in marine omega, it's already readily. So it goes in, it goes past your digestive system, with protection, and then you can be absorbed easily. So and it can cause the blood-brain barrier because it's oil to actually for DHA to be absorbed. This is what we need for our brain, okay? And the one thing most important is the cleanliness, okay? Which means the safety profile as well, because fish nowadays are easily contaminated because our ocean are very, very contaminated, right? In Sabah, we have beautiful sea, but also every time you can see so much rubbish still floating around, not just from Sabah, but no, around the world. So krill is actually in the lower food chain and is smaller. So that's why the risk of heavy metals contamination is vastly reduced. And one thing I really like about Nu Skin, the sourcing in our 6S quality control. They go to use all their effort to find the place that is least contaminated and has an ample source to ensure that we consistently have this. Okay, do you know krill oil is so powerful that it reduces the fat in the liver by 60% compared to 30% of just regular fish oil. A lot of people say have fatty liver and fat and unhealthy liver, right? So this can actually do some help as well. So do you not think it's very, very superior? It works so well on our heart and our liver. And the cleanliness is very important. It's because we take it long term, right? It is so important. The safety profile is good enough to ensure that every day we take it is even safer than those fish you take as a meal, every single day. Our marine omega is really safer than that. So Pharmanex go to a great extent to ensure marine omega is free from heavy metals, pesticides, and other things like arsenite and things like that. And Nu Skin uses its patented process to remove almost all 96% of the contaminants, 96%. And where else mostly the industry only require you to remove 38% to be marketed. Okay. We know that a lot of supplements don't need to show its efficacy and safety profile, and they can be marketed as long as people will not die from it and it's okay. So they don't need to go through this stringent process, but they did. I remember this analogy that was presented a lot of times that if we have Olympic-sized swimming pool, not the just normal ordinary size swimming pool, if the whole Olympic-sized swimming pool is filled with marine omega, the patented process that Nu Skin has, how stringent it is that they put a needle-sized probe in to this Olympic swimming pool and they found any contaminants like lead or mercury, they will dispatch the whole batch of marine omega. This is the great extent that they want to ensure every single soft gel of marine omega that you put into your mouth is safe for you and your loved ones, because we only want it to be better and not the otherwise. So some people will say, oh yeah, expensive. I think if they know how much effort is being put into that one soft gel, they will think it's worth it instead of taking the 1,000 tab capsule. Okay, so we do have Opti Omega as well, which is slightly lower in cost. But there is some comparison. Our source of fish are the same for marine and Opti Omega. And I always ask people, do you think you take big fish or small fish? Then they will then I say, do you take shark fish? Then they say, oh yes, good, because shark is very strong. Then I say, do you know how long shark lives? Shark lives many years. Will you take an elderly's fish oil when it is elderly old already? You think it's still very fresh, or probably a lot of not so healthy already, right? So that's why Nu Skin only use small fish from the purest ocean, which is in the Atlantic Norwegian Ocean, like sardines, salmons, mackerel, anchovies, because they are very small. So when they're small, unlike big fishes, they eat all sort of rubbish. But all these fishes have little mouth on it, so they eat things like planktons and amoebas in the ocean. So it's and their lifespan is very short. So that is why it's always very fresh. They have less contaminants. Okay. So of course, marine omega is very stable, safer, better absorption. But of course, all of them went through the 6S quality control. So if I think that better than having some, better than nothing at all. So here I have Eva from my team who actually shared with me her remedy for her remedy for sore throat is not go to doctor, it's not to take antibiotic, it's her marine omega. She said since she started marine omega, since it was launched in Malaysia many years ago, and when she learned about the efficacy of marine omega in reducing inflammation, she used it as her number one remedy, right, to treat sore throat instead of taking antibiotics. So her sore throat recovered very fast and it improved drastically. And also she think, when she has headache is also a form of inflammation. She don't take Panadol. She will pop her marine omega like Panadol pop. So she say this is something she will not go away without. Everywhere she go, and marine omega has shown to improve our SCS score, right? This is why she also very proudly shows that she's always in the platinum zone. Yeah, wow. Abby also mentioned that marine omega is very good for mouth ulcers. Yeah, some people just chew it as well. Oh yeah, and one thing to tell you that a lot of people chew it, they don't feel that it's very fishy. That is because of the stability of our marine omega with the high antioxidant in there. So a lot of kids chew it. I know I even have friends who give it to their furry babies as well, and the fur of the furry baby is so smooth. Yeah, thank you, Eva, for sharing me these of testimonials. Yeah. And moving forward, here I would also like to share a bit about Life Pack Nano to you. I know it's not available in Malaysia and only available in certain countries, but it is very worth knowing, especially the technology that is in it, because I love to see technologies. So this one, you get seven capsules, or instead of the four in a normal, so that's why you pay a bit more. Okay, but I want you to highlight to show you you see the Life Pack Nano, the fish oil portion, right? It's used liponutrient soft gel. It's not normal soft gel. Liponutrients is a technology that is nano particles that is being brought into the body for better absorption. So fat-soluble nutrients like carotenoids and Q10, they like to stick together normally. They clump in. When it's clumped together, it's very hard to digest. So in the nano encapsulation of the nutrients, that's why it's in a capsule instead of caplets, okay? It actually separates them. It separates them. It allows them to be absorbed better in our small intestine. Okay, the nanotechnology also can be illustrated to have 5 times more absorption than our CoQ10. Okay, so that's why, and you only need to eat 1 packet instead of 2. Okay, so it is worth the money. So here's a little bit of a comparison of Life Pack and Life Pack Nano. In Life Pack Nano, there's a little bit more, 20 more nutrients and also certain high potency antioxidant. So I'm very envious of you, so you who are in Singapore, and it's nanotechnology, and it's of course, just you have to take one. So you don't worry about overdose, don't worry about overdose, because I've shared earlier, we are most of the time, 90% of time, underdose. Okay, so there's 11 formulation in one instead of 7. Okay, and thank you to Alan who shared with us. He has used Life Pack Nano to prevent jet lag. So he took you need to double dose 2 days before before you go, and even 2 days after when you come back. And during that time, he said that when he went for the US Global Convention, he remained alert and energized upon arrival, and he was able to still continue his gym routine and things like that, and no downtime. So really, this can actually help us to stay in our optimal health level. Next is our G3. Yes, favorite to a lot of us, a lot to moms as well. I drink more G3 when I was pregnant, and then and I gave my baby G3 as soon as she can drink other things. Yes, my kids love G3. Yeah, this one is another story. I just saw someone from Australia. Right? My sister lives in Australia, so she always said I have plenty of fresh fruits. We go to the orchard to pick the fruits and so on and so forth. So with the antioxidant scanner, I do scan them as well. I do scan the kids as well. And my nephew actually has super allergies. So as a result, his gut doesn't absorb as well. This is when I finally able to convince my sister that the kids needs G3, because even fresh fruits nowadays, you cannot get the amount absorbed, unlike the G3. Yes, my daughter now loves it too. She drinks in a cup like me, even though, otherwise she use a bottle. She don't want to use a bottle for G3. She only use the cup. So we can see her skin is actually, nicer. Even she got bitten by mosquito, whatever, she also recover very fast. And I think I really, really think that it does makes a huge difference to her immune system. Yeah, to her immune system. So what does this G3 encompasses? Our scientists actually spend a lot of years to find what is the superfood, what are the superfood that has high in antioxidant. So they found these 4 superfood. Number 1 is gag fruit, Chinese lithium, which is a wolfberry, silly fruit, not the stupid fruit, silly fruit, and Siberian pineapple, which is a sabacton. I'll just quickly go through all of them with you. So gag is a fruit from heaven. This one we are very lucky in areas like Vietnam, areas like that. They have a lot in their back garden, and but now in Malaysia we also have some. It can be used internally and externally. So this one is a very rare one to help with wound healing, skin problem, eye health, and so on, and promote growth in children. So that's why G3 is very important in kids. So if you're really, really in a while and you hurt yourself, you don't have plaster, you saw a gap, you can just break the gap and then apply it on your skin, okay? Gap really, really fights vitamin A deficiency. So with vitamin A deficiency, can cause a lot of blindness, dry eye as well, blotchy eyes and things like that, and in severe cases even ulcers. So how this professor actually discovered this is because they saw that this area where they have a lot of gap, that those people there have very, very good eyesight. And it also helps with wound healing and dry skin. And that's why it helps a lot of eczema, psoriasis skin, and growth as well. Let me tell you, fertility and pregnancy complication also can be caused by vitamin A deficiency. So if you're pregnant or planning to take help to be pregnant, please make sure you drink a lot of G3. Yeah. So the other ingredient is Siberian pineapples. This is a very ancient fruit, has more than 2,000 years, 2,000 years of recorded usage. So that's why it's in those days were actually being used as a blood purifier. Wow, yeah. And that's why it's been recognized as a very, very important ingredient to help with healing. Okay. And the Siberian pineapples has lots of good functions, immunity health, liver function, and a lot of vitamins. Okay, and Chinese psyllium, which is your geiji, you make in a soup. A lot of Chinese traditional medicines also have it. It has protect your DNA and improve your eye health as well. And a lot of people will be popping it and take it like a snack also, right? And in your soup, right? And sealy fruit, wow, this is the king of vitamin C. A lot of people tell me kiwi is a king of vitamin C. I can tell you, when you have sealy fruit, it is the king of vitamin C because it can even also help your cardiovascular with your antioxidant oxidation of your bad cholesterol as well. So that's why, and it helps with aging. Wow, anti-aging. So that's why, right? We always love to call our G3 the beauty drink, the super drink, the eye drink, the go toilet drink, the whatever drink. So G3 is really, really good for those. If some of you who couldn't swallow tablets, or maybe children, or maybe elderly who's taking a lot of medication, or have difficulty in swallowing, is really, really very good for them. But of course, it's for everybody as well. I know some of my customers like to moan and say, "Yeah, your G3 very pricey, very expensive." Then I ask them back, if you want to buy in just one bottle, if you want to buy 60 oranges, you want to buy 70 tomatoes, 10 carrots, and 40 corns, how much is going to cost? And we are talking about good quality one, not the cheap orange. Because nowadays, a good, nice Sunkist orange, we need to pay about 4 ringgit something already. So if you add this up, it's more than one bottle of G3. Why would it be expensive? And it has technology such as this. The uniqueness of G3 again is a nanolipocarotene technology, which is patented, trademark, which is that's why the TM there, as the conveyor belt to help you bring the nutrients into your body. So why would it be expensive? Do you know our body is very difficult to digest fat-soluble vitamin, which is ADEK. It's very difficult. And G3 helps with the absorption. It reduces those stuck together nutrients, open up, and it helps to absorb. So it helps to reduce a lot of people who have deficiency in vitamin D, and so on. Because vitamin D deficiency can actually affect your immune system, of course, and your mood as well, and your brain function as well. So that's why it's very, very, your bone is very important, you see. So G3 has lots and lots of benefits: immunity, eye health, improves absorption, digestion, speed up your healing. But if you really, they're actually something that's produced with references. Again, G3 also have clinical reference that there are 63 reasons you must get G3. If you need this, you can ask the person who sent you the link for this morning. What are the benefits of it? It's just many, okay? So here I would like to share a story, a testimonial from my niece as well, Evelyn's daughter. She started G3 and Marine Omega since she was 1 year old. Okay, that's her 1 year old photo, and she's 10 now. Wow, it's like and then comparing to her brother who didn't start because he's older, right? Didn't start G3 at the same time. And so she doesn't get sick as often, and her health is much better. So thanks to the Pharmanex product, it keeps her healthy since young, and now she's a fit and strong little gymnast. Wow, I'm very, very proud of her. I see her mom bringing her to her practice all the time. We said, wow, so she's so strong mentally and physically. Can actually go to practice. Sometimes when her mom see her, wow, so tired already, still go for practice, but she's still still very strong, she's still, and we see her to competition, we still, so she, I'm so proud that, that moms actually believe in starting your kids early on supplements. I think that it's very, very important. Even like my daughter now, she has touch wood. Now she just turned 11 months, and I know a lot of babies actually got ill, but even her injection, even till now, even my husband had some cough and cold. We sleep together. She's still very strong. So I truly, truly, I think touch wood, I truly believe that G3 and all the supplementations that I've been taking when I was having her in my stomach and breastfeeding actually plays a very important role to lay the foundation of it. When I was breastfeeding, my breast milk is always very, very thick, and not white one, no, it's a bit yellowish. It's not colostrum, colostrum is orangey, but it's even after that. So I believe the quality of my breast milk is more nutritious compared to non-user. So really, really grateful to all the Pharmanex supplements. Last but not least, we have Audrey as well, who suffer from asthma since young and always fall sick, cough and cold and so on. But after drinking G3, right? After drinking G3, she no longer have to visit the doctor as often. And imagine if you say G3 is expensive compared to the asthma medication, and having to go the downtime, having to go to the doctors, it's really, really worth it. It's very value for money. So that's why asthma condition also improve because of improve in nutrients, improve in our restoration, our recovery, and the resilience of our body. So, I really hope my sharing today has helped you to understand better why this foundation of nutrients, i.e. Life Pack Marine Omega or Opti Omega or G3, is so important. It's so important before you continue to build before you continue to build your pillars of health to be younger, fitter, and so on. When you anti-aging, all those also needed. Okay, all those also needed. But the foundation is super important, because otherwise it's going to impede absorption of the others. And more so important to educate and raise awareness of your loved ones, right? Why certain brands of our Pharmanex brand of this foundation, because fish oil everybody takes. Why is it so superior? Why is it so of different quality? And again, totally not expensive if you were to buy so many bottles of supplements. Okay, so I sincerely hope it has helped you. And let's stay stronger, fitter, and healthier so we can help more people to do so. Thank you very much. And back to you, Walter. Bye bye. Have a fantastic day ahead.